Action.
Hi, I am Allen.
And I'm Terry. Today it's our Wrestlemania Predictions. Okay, today it's Wrestlemania season. And today we're going to make our predictions for both days of Wrestlemania. And we're going to start with Saturday. Saturday should open with a 6-man tag with Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill making her debut versus Damage Control. Have you got any thoughts on that, Alan?
Well, I think if we're going to go wrestling, I think they might tear Damage Control up. So I'm picking them. And Cargill,
Naomi, and Bianca Belair. I agree with you. They're going to make Jade Cargill look very strong. In fact, I think it ought to be a very fast match, and Jade Cargill will get the pin. All right, we have Jay and Jimmy Uso on Saturday. Any thoughts on that? Is Rikishi, their father, going to be there?
I think he might be there. He might be there. I think it's going to be that clean. He's going to be there. And I think the colors going to do something too. And it's going to be a rough match.
Now, which one is the good guy, Jimmy or Jay? I can't tell them apart.
Jay is on the Raw.
Raw, so he's the good guy. Okay, then I think Jay will win of the Uso brothers. All right, next is going to be the 6-pack ladder match for the title. We've got Judgment Day, which is Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Did you see that nasty knot on Finn Balor's hand? DIY, Awesome Truth, The New Day. Are Theory and Waller still in this, or did they get taken out pretty deadly? Still.
No, they do. Waller and
And Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. Now, being a 6-man tag, this is going to be a wild, 6-pack ladder. This will be a wild and crazy match. And I think this will be the beginning of a bad weekend for the Judgment Day. I think they will lose the title, though I really don't see any of these teams being champions outside of them. But I think that they will lose the title, and I'm going to go with the New Day because I like the New Day.
I kind of agree with your New Day too. I got the New Day too.
All right. We have Gunter versus Sami Zayn. This will be for the Intercontinental title. Go ahead, Alan.
Okay, this past Monday night, going to come out doing Sami Zayn wrestling matches and interfere. So I think Gunter's going to win and he's going to tear him apart. I think he's going to throw him like a baked potato.
Well, I see where Chad Gable has been trying to coach Sami Zayn up against Gunter. But I just don't see how Sami Zayn can hold up to that chest slap that Gunter uses. So I'm going to stick with Gunter keeping the title because I see a match with him against Dragunov down the road. Ilya Dragunov coming up to the show. Remember, Dragunov beat him a couple years ago for the European title or something like that. So Gunther's going to keep his title, and the next match will be the women's title. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Go ahead, Alan.
I'm going with Becky Lynch. I'm still my position. So I'm going to stick with her.
Well, Becky Lynch is a good choice. And like I said, I think this is a bad weekend for the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley's been champion a long time, but Everyone likes Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley mentioned, I don't know if she threatened Becky Lynch's baby, which makes her an overwhelming bad guy in the eye of the fans. I think Becky Lynch will beat Rhea Ripley cleanly. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. Any thoughts on that?
Well, they bring out new member of LWO, which is Dragon Lee. I think Dragon Lee might come to be a good choice. So he might have Rey Mysterio. I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio's team to win.
Well, I agree with Rey Mysterio's team getting the win, but I think Escobar is going to turn on Dominic during the match. Escobar is a long-time wrestler, and all of the luchadors look up to Rey Mysterio greatly. And Dominic has been very disrespectful to his dad, and I think that Escobar is going to turn on him. And the last match for the night is the big match, the one everybody wants to see, the tag team match with Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Rhodes and Rollins. They have a stipulation about who wins and who's going to be allowed at ringside on Sunday. Give me your thoughts on this one, Alan.
I think Rock and Roman Reigns gonna beat that cat out of her.
I agree. I don't see. I see the Rock and Reigns winning, and maybe something happening to Seth Rollins to weaken him up a little going into the weekend. So that's day one. All right, are we ready? Night two, Alan. I see Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits against the Final Testament. Who's in the Final Testament? I don't know. I don't know who they are. So I'm going to stick with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits because I know who they are. I have no idea who the Final Testament is.
They gotta be black. They the big dude.
They big?
Yeah.
Were they the ones who were in NXT for a while?
Yeah. ATW.
Okay. Well, here's one of my favorites is the next one. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. How about it?
I think it's gonna be a tough match, but both of them. So I'm going with LA Knight to win.
I agree that LA Knight should win. I think that skill-wise, AJ Styles is one of the best performers in the ring. Charisma-wise, everybody right now loves LA Knight. So I'm sticking with LA Knight. Next, we have another women's title match. Io Sky versus Bayley. There's a little animosity between the two because they used to be teammates. Who do you think will win this?
I think it's gonna be a long vote for both of them. I think the guy don't get the belt because damage control is gonna help her. So I think she might get the belt and Bayley might get another shot. Let's say the view.
Well, I'm going to disagree. I think Bayley's going to come out with the title. Io Sky has had the title for quite a long time. And yes, I think Damage Control will help her. But doesn't Bayley have a new friend? Who's Bayley's new friend? I think someone will come out and negate the interference of the rest of Damage Control, and Bayley will pull out the title. The next is a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title with Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. How about it, Alan?
Well, I think it might be a tough match for everybody. So I'm gonna go with Randy Orton might win. Somebody's gonna get knocked out. He gonna have his knuckle, and somebody's gonna get knocked out.
Well, I think you're right about the brass knuckles showing up. But I do know this, that, what's Randy Orton's hold? What they call his finisher? Randy Orton? RKO. I think the RKO, which can come out of anywhere at any time, is going to be what decides, because no one else in the match has a hold similar to the RKO and being instantly deadly. So I'm leaning towards Randy Orton. And next we have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the Raw title. And what do you think of this one?
Like he might get beat up then Saturday night. So I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre to win.
I see where you're coming from. Seth is going to be in very rough shape. And I agree, Drew McIntyre could win. But I think Seth Rollins will hang on for dear life because I think there'll be a surprise after the match. I think that this has been a long, hard weekend from the Judgment Day. And it's time for Damian Priest to cash in his Money in the Bank. After all, Seth Rollins will have faced 2 very difficult matches in 2 days. So my prediction is Seth Rollins retains the title and Damian Priest comes out. And now for the most anticipated match on the card. I think everyone's been looking forward to this one for a year. Will Cody Rhodes complete his journey and defeat Roman Reigns?
I think I can finish story this time. He might finish story next time. So I think he's still gonna get beat. I think Roman Reigns still can keep the belt.
Well, I think Roman Reigns will keep his title too. I think Rhodes chasing the title instead of having the title is a better story. Well, that's our predictions for WrestleMania. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll watch it on Monday because we're 2 old goats and we can't stay up late. Good night, everyone.
Good night. See you next pay-per-view.